What's going on, everybody? Funny enough, before Jobber series, Goon series was ever official, one of the first ever characters I ever gave a similar style video for was actually Wolverine, and it's still around. You can go check that out. But this is an official Jobber video from my boy Wolverine. Of course, he's one of my favorite characters, but still, it's hilarious to make fun of when he takes L's and certain shit that happens to him throughout time in comics, because one of the reasons he takes so many L's is Wolverine fights anything, anyone, anytime, anywhere, so you're bound to get beat up. But regardless, this is some of the funniest L's Wolverine has taken. Now, if you want to see your favorite character on either this series, the Goon series, if you want to see worst places to live, stuff like that, hit me up on Discord. We can discuss prices, and we can for sure get you locked in. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this Wolverine video. I hope you guys enjoy Wolverine taking constant L's. Without further ado, let's begin. Now, first one you might recognize if you frequently view my channel. By the way, run the likes up on this if you want to see part 2. Get it to 600 likes, and I'll drop Wolverine jobbing part 2, because obviously not every moment's on here. But anyways, getting back to this. This is a moment that occurred between him and Daredevil that I mentioned in my prior Daredevil video. This was a fight between Daredevil. Daredevil didn't even want to fight, right? Still, he's putting in work. Ends up absolutely rocking Wolverine with like a weight. Knocks him over and accidentally gets Wolverine impaled. That's right. Daredevil accidentally put Wolverine on life alert. Wolverine was struggle city in this 1v1 that he should have easily clutched. I think for most of us, especially casuals, they would think Wolverine would walk through Daredevil. But no, Daredevil casually danced on him and accidentally thought he killed him. So, definitely an L for the boy Wolverine in a matchup between him and Daredevil. Now, here's the next moment. It's not like a fighting L, but it's definitely an L for the culture. So, Wolverine was throwing a fit, was not getting his way with X-Men. If you don't know, throughout the Claremont run specifically, Wolverine was always throwing temper tantrums. Like, he's always pissed off, got little man complex, all that shit. He was mad about something going on with the group. They hear, like, Storm's trying to calm him down, talking to him like he's a child, and then they get an alert that something is going down. It's an emergency. Storm picks This is so bad. Storm picks up Wolverine like a pouting child. Like, he literally looks like he's about to cry. Looks like an absolute bitch in her arms. And she flies him out of there, and she's like, yo, we're on the way. You know, Wolverine's throwing one of his little tantrums, but we're good. Here we come. But yeah, nah, the way he looked, the way he was drawing his body language, he looked like an absolute bitch in this moment. So I definitely had to include it. Next, we have an absolute L he took at the hands of someone that's not even really from his verse. So he actually got pulled up on by an outsider. Even bigger L. They came to your turf, you got danced on. So he ran into Spock from Star Trek, right? The Vulcan, the legendary Vulcan. They get into a scuffle, you know, an old fisticuffs. You would think Wolverine would hold his own. No. Spock dances on him, quickly grabs him, and one-shots him with the Vulcan pinch. Absolutely throttles Wolverine. What are you doing? Swing! Like, why are you getting casually bodied by Spock? It was horrible, bad look. Wolverine will let you down so fast if you're his fan, and he definitely let me down in this exchange. Next is a moment that includes Deadpool. Again, one of those characters I feel like will eventually end up on this series, either on a Job or a Goon side. But Deadpool is partaking in a hunt for Wolverine, right? Casually takes him down, and then pops him with a shit ton of tranquilizers. And Wolverine's like, oh, bro, you think you're going to stop me? And Daredevil's like, yeah, stupid bitch. Packed a lot in that shot, dummy. That's why I got you. And then you see Wolverine collapse so bad, the boy is left helpless in the fetal position. That's right. Deadpool had that boy lying down like a fucking baby. Big L, if you're in the live premiere, Big F in the chat, for the boy Wolverine getting put in the fetal position. That is F for fetal. That is a horrible look for Wolverine, and you'll see in many of his encounters with Deadpool that shit like this happens all the time. Next was an L he took at the hands of Spider-Man. Not just any Spider-Man. In particular, this is Superior Spider-Man, who of course is with the mind of Doc Ock. Wolverine pulls up on Superior Spider-Man, puts hands on him, and is like, look, bro, you're coming with me. Like, you need to calm down all this shit. Superior Spider-Man turns around and he's like, what the fuck? He's like, Wolverine, you dumb bitch. You can't touch me. Like, who told you? You could put hands on me. And Superior Spider-Man starts beating his ass. Absolutely drags him. Slams him in the street. And he was like, you stupid bitch. Don't ever touch me again. You know you're an L magnet. And like, gets up, answers a call. He's like, ready to walk away, all that shit. But yeah, he absolutely throttled Wolverine for thinking he could put hands on him. This was an hilarious moment. And again, just another time where Wolverine gets his ass beat. Next, we have the time, famously, where Magneto got sick of his shit. So if you don't know, Magneto is a mutant. He's kind of an anti-hero. Started out kind of a villain, but he was a victim of the Holocaust. He can rip apart all metals, stop metals, bend metals, do whatever the fuck he wants with metals. He's the metal guy, right? He's the metal plug. And this, on paper, is a horrible matchup for Wolverine. Obviously, for adamantium claws, right? This should be the case. We've always wondered reading it, especially as goons. We're like, why doesn't he just rip his bitch ass apart? Because that's so simple, right? That's what we would do. Well, in one story, he gets sick of Wolverine and actually does that. He starts tearing him apart and butchering him via ripping out the metal. This was horrifying. And yeah, Wolverine got absolutely melted, and Wolverine and Magneto's like, here you go, you jobbing bitch. I'll do you how I should have done you a long ass time ago, and absolutely folded him. It's just a terrible L for Wolverine. Next is a vibe check applied to Wolverine via Ben Grimm, the Thing. So Ben Grimm and Wolverine get into it, right? And Wolverine's making threats. He's like, yo, I'll cut you apart, I'll beat your ass, all this shit. And Ben Grimm looks at him, he's like, yo, I don't have to worry about a thing, you bum. And Wolverine's like, what do you mean, bitch? You don't have to worry. You really don't think you have to worry about me? He was like, yeah, I really don't. Thing proceeds to one-shot Wolverine. Bonks him, literally bonks him on the head with one fist and instantly KOs him. And Richard's like, oh, shit. He's like, yeah, he didn't regen at time. He just got folded. And Ben Grimm's like, yeah, get his bitch ass out of here. He doesn't scale. Like, I don't know why he stepped to me so aggressively, but I had to teach him a lesson. But yeah, Wolverine got vibe check one-shotted by Thing for just testing him. And it was a hilarious moment. Next is an L he took to Namor. Now, this is an absolute L because of the circumstances surrounding it. Namor, this was his individual run. I actually, fun fact, own this, the hard copy in real life. It's a random Namor run in the early 2000s. But Namor is making plays, right? He's trying to do his own shit. He's got his own shit to worry about. Wolverine sneaks up on him. Has prep, gets the drop on him. Stabs him. Fully. Like, he gets a free shot to stab Namor however he wants. Stabs him in the chest, is talking shit, right? Namor tanks this and beats Wolverine's ass and even knocks him out. Somehow, with getting the drop on him, having every opportunity to end it before it even starts, Wolverine fumbled the bag horrendously and took the L to Namor, so I had to add it to the list. Next, we have the time he got folded by Iron Fist. Now, this was a bad look because Iron Fist was in base. I mean base, like not using his chi. He's fighting against several X-Men, right? Ends up matched up with Wolverine. Wolverine's talking shit. Iron Fist is like, get off me, bitch. Like, I don't want to hurt you, but you're getting annoying. Flips him off him. They start going back and forth, and he puts down Wolverine. And like I said, he didn't even have the respect or courtesy to use chi on Wolverine at that point. Like, he was just fighting him base versus Wolverine. And he waited to use chi until he ran into Colossus. So yeah, the fact that he was like in base, casually taking out Wolverine when Wolverine actually had help as well. Bad look for the boy Wolvie, and his L to Iron Fist had to be mentioned. Next, this was the time Shang-Chi and Spider-Man decided to embarrass the shit out of Wolverine. How did they do so? Well, they got into a scuffle with Wolverine and absolutely clowned him in the 2v1 and ended up basically playing patty cake with his bitch ass. Just passing him back and forth, rocking him whenever they wanted, rocking them however they wanted, and just absolutely mauling him. This 2v1 embarrassment of a bullying session that involves Wolverine made the list because Wolverine, use your damn claws and get out of there. This is embarrassing at this point. You're going to have to kill a homie because, like, I know they might be your friends, but you're going to have to take them off the planet or at least, you know, cut them real good to let them know to cut that shit out because they were absolutely embarrassing him. This moment is another Shang-Chi moment. Now, Shang-Chi didn't even want to fight Wolverine for context. He was making other moves trying to help his family. Wolverine pulls up on him and he's like, yo, I know you're doing shady shit. You're running with an underground organization. Can't let that happen. Wolverine starts swinging on Shang-Chi. Like I said, Shang-Chi's like, yo, I don't want to fight, dog. Like, back up off me. Shang-Chi accidentally almost pancaked Wolverine by knocking him off a cliff in the brawl. He was absolutely comfortable going toe-to-toe with Wolverine. Wolverine didn't do shit. And yeah, it was a bad look for Wolverine because he got absolutely melted in the scuffle. Next, we have the time that Wolverine got into it with Squirrel Girl. Now, keep in mind, I fully acknowledge how strong Squirrel Girl is. She's a goon herself. She's a menace. But Wolverine pulled up on her and was talking crazy. He was like, yo, let's brawl. Let's, you know, scuffle real quick. And I'm going to put the claws away. Like, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to take it easy on you. I'm going to relax. Just show me what you got. He starts brawling with Squirrel Girl. She does fine. Then they get into like a grappling exchange. And he's like, yo, never turn your back on your opponent. And then he turns around and realizes she could have easily one-shot him with the squirrel shit. And Wolverine was like, oh my god, I just got outplayed and outflanked casually by Squirrel Girl. And yeah, that shit happened. So the fact he was talking greasy to her and then got absolutely exposed in the 1v1 was a terrible look for Wolverine and had to make the list. Next, we have the time he gets trolled by Deadpool. Of course, he gets trolled by Deadpool a lot, but in this particular moment, Wolverine was at a diplomatic junction, right? And he's filling in, checking things out, being smooth, finds out someone's breaking in, goes to the water to find Deadpool and a fucking swim ducky, like a rubber ducky around his waist, right? And Deadpool's like, what's up, bitch? I heard you didn't invite me to the party, you bum. And Wolverine's like, bro, chill, this isn't even a party. Get shot. And starts getting mauled by Deadpool, who was like, how dare you not invite me? And just the fact that he was getting clowned on by this Deadpool who just wanted to come to the party. And Deadpool was trying to convince him he was a mutant. And Wolverine's like, you're not a mutant, bitch. And he's like, I'm an honorary mutant, ho. Same shit. So it was a bad look for Wolverine because he got absolutely throttled in this exchange. This next moment is a couple exchanges between Wolverine and Punisher. So if you didn't know, Punisher was extremely comfortable in the trenches with Wolverine, especially if his rider is Garth Ennis. And he got into it with Wolverine at one point and was like, yo, bro, I don't want to be bothered with you. You hold the team back. You're an idiot. You don't help me much. I don't want you on the next part of the mission. And shoots him in the wiener. Shoots his balls off. Plain and simple. And Wolverine goes down. He's like, what the hell? He's like, holy shit. Why'd you do that? Frank was like, shut up, bitch. You're useless. Let me get out of here. And he also, if you think that's like even remotely one of the things he's done to Wolverine, also had Wolverine run over by a steamroller and get flattened. That's right. Super disrespectful. Punisher was doing him dirty, specifically in the Garth Ennis runs, and the fact that he was getting casually clowned by Punisher had to be mentioned. Next was the Backhand of Doom. Now, Cyclops and Wolverine have always had a shaky past, despite being on the same team. This, of course, typically revolves around the fact they share a bitch. Let's keep it a buck. Jean gets passed around like a meal on Thanksgiving, especially between these two hounds, and it's led to some friction in the past, right? And Wolverine is one to always talk shit. There's at one point, Cyclops was not in a good mood. Wolverine was pressing him. He's like, what's up, bitch? What you doing? How you moving? How you sliding? All this shit. Just doing too much. Getting on his nerves to the point that Cyclops turns around and bitch slaps the hell out of Wolverine and is like, shut up, you goofy. And rocks Wolverine. And if you think that's the only time he's had to check Wolverine, Wolverine's been pieced up before by Cyclops, simply put. In fact, Cyclops has absolutely clowned him before in one-on-one brawls. He's pissed off Wolverine, gotten him bloodlusted, and absolutely danced on him, having his way in the one-on-one exchanges just to prove a point to Wolverine. So yeah, Cyclops, who I consider a cuck in most runs, absolutely bullies Wolverine. So I think that's an L in itself, and a couple of those moments had to be listed. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're a Wolverine fan like me, run the likes up, and I'll bring a Wolverine jobber too. There was also a Wolverine W video purchased, or a Goon Moments. Shout out to my boy Dan for purchasing both. And yeah, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.